Thanks very much, Mr. Speaker. I listened with interest as my colleague across the way talked about respecting the will of the majority of Parliament. The majority of Parliament believes in $10 a day daycare. The majority of Parliament believes in a national school food program. The majority of Parliament believes in putting money into investments for housing towards municipalities, which, so it turns out, so do 18 Conservative members of Parliament. My question, Mr. Speaker, would be, if the honourable colleague across the way believes in respecting the majority will of Parliament, does he also support these programs, which are in fact supported by the majority of parliamentarians? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Calgary Centre.
Well, that's a good question. And I thank my colleague for that question. I know that everybody in this House wants to do well for the Canadians that they represent. Whatever program that is, I'm certain they want to deliver it. I will put on the table, and I'll push back to my colleague across the way, that if you tell Canadians that, okay, you've got this new free program, but, you know, your kids are going to pay for it 20 years down the road with interest along the way, that their kids might have something to say about it right now, you know, first and foremost. We have to get back to that space where the programs we offer are the programs we're actually paying for. We're not asking others to pay for that for us. And those others, of course, the next generation in Canada, they're going to have tougher choices to make because we've constrained them so badly. So build the country of the future. Don't sit there and just shovel out your cash today. We've got choices to make. Nothing is free. Nothing can just happen. You've got to make sure that you look at your costing here and your payments and ensure that you get the right things done for Canadians so we've got a viable country going forward.
Mr. Speaker, I do want to go back for a moment to something my colleague said in a previous response to my question. He talked about burdening future generations. I'm guessing he owns a house, I don't know for sure, and I'm guessing he didn't pay cash for that house. He probably took out a mortgage. And what did he do? He borrowed money. Why did he borrow money? Or presumably, why do Canadians borrow money? They do it to invest. Our government is investing in people. So my question for him is whether or not he believes that a national school food program and childcare is mere bureaucracy, as the leader of the opposition is so fond of saying. So I'll repeat that because I know he was getting some advice here, Mr. Speaker. Is the national school food program and $10 a day daycare bureaucracy in his mind? A simple yes or no would be helpful. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
In 30 seconds or so, the honourable member for Calgary Centre.
Thank all my colleagues for the financial advice they'll give me in this House. I appreciate it. But the issue about what's investing and what's spending is nonsense. Governments are not investing right now. Governments are spending like crazy. It's not an investment to say we're spending everybody's money today, but don't worry about it in the future. It is gross overspending, and they've got to start making choices for Canadians.
All spending is taxation.